Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is Mr. Mudather from Legacy School and this is ICT Year 7. This is our third lesson. I hope that we haven't had any difficulties with our previous lessons. So let's start with a quick recap. Alright, we will start with the definition of computer, and as I mentioned on the first lesson that we need to memorize this definition just as we memorize our own names. Okay, so the computer is an electronic device that can store, retrieve, and process data. You can use it to type documents, draw images, listen to music, watch movies, communicate with friends, and much more. I'm pretty sure you can do much more than that, right? But this is the main definition of computers. A computer is an electronic device that can store, retrieve, and process data. We've also gone through the types of computers. You remember there are more than 4 types of computers: supercomputers, servers, PCs, smartphones, tablets, and so on. Even if you can remember that our own clothes washing machine at home, it has computer chips. And we've also, in the second lesson, we've studied the difference between hardware and software, and what is hardware and what is software. And when we refer to the word computer as a concept and not as a device, 2 things come to mind: hardware and software. Hardware is the electronic and mechanical parts of a computer. It's all the parts that make up a computer, like the monitor, the motherboard, the chips, and so on. The software, however, is a collection of all the programs that are installed on your computer. These are programs that you need in order to operate your computer, such as the operating system and all of the applications that you need to be able to work, like Microsoft Word, Excel, Adobe Photoshop. All of those programs and the operating system and every single set of instruction that you have inside your computer is called software. Alright, in today we're going to learn about the main parts of a computer. Oh, I like this image very much because it has literally everything inside the CPU, or sorry, the tower. This is the tower, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that we've all seen this tower almost like everywhere. At school, definitely. Maybe you got a desktop computer at home, daddy's got a computer at office, mom, my cousins. Well, this is the computer tower. Some people call it the computer case because it just looks like a case that contains all of the small parts of the computer. So let's go back. Alright, as I said earlier, I love this image very much because it has the motherboard. Well, the motherboard, we're gonna get in depth with each and every one. The video card, well, this is for gamers. It's really important. If you are a gamer, and then there will come a day when you just wish for a very strong, good quality video card. This is the hard drive or hard disk drive. In here we store each and every single data or data that we have, whatever it is. If it's permanent and it's stored in a very long time, it will be stored here on this tiny device. This is a DVD burner. You also have a CD burner. Of course, you know the DVD discs and the CD discs. This is the power supply. Well, the power supply like takes the power from the wall and then distributes the power to all of those devices according to their needs. It gives them the exact current of the electricity that they need. So all the power that goes into the computer comes here first and then gets supplied by this power supplier over here. This is the memory. Well, this is a bit different than this one. Well, they're both memories, the hard drive and the memory. We call this the RAM, random access memory. Yes, random access memory. Everything that you work, as you work, you have so many things that get stored only temporarily on your computer. It gets stored in the memory, but the minute you switch off your computer, everything goes away. That's how it's different. This is temporary and this is sort of permanent. Even if you switch off your computer, when you get back to it, you'll find your files stored, but this one stores the data temporarily. Well, those two are basically the same thing. This is the CPU and this is the fan that cools off the CPU, because the CPU generates lots of heat. This is actually the brain of the computer. All the process happens here. This is like if you type on a calculator inside your computer 2 plus 2, this is the guy that takes care of your result. This is the guy that gives you the result. All of the information are stored here, but then this guy is the thinker. Okay, it'll talk to you and tell you that. All right, so you asked 2 plus 2. The answer is 4. This is the guy. All right, so this is the computer tower or the computer case. In order to be functional, a computer needs some specific parts of the hardware. A motherboard, as we saw earlier, memory or RAM, CPU, the brain, hard disk. Then you need a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse to work with your PC. Let's see what those are and how we can use them. Let's start with the motherboard, which is this guy over here. Yeah, this is like the biggest device inside your computer tower or your computer case. So what is the motherboard? The motherboard is the main circuit of the computer, which all the other parts are connected to. So all of these are connected to the motherboard. The CPU goes here, the video card goes here, the hard disk goes here, and so on. The CPU, the memory, the hard disk drive, and any peripheral device are all connected to the motherboard. The motherboard job is to make all these parts communicate and work together. It's really easy, right? So the motherboard, all of your peripheral devices are connected to it, and its job is to make all these parts communicate and work together. So if this file stored here needs processing, then how would it go? It would go through the motherboard. So now we know what a motherboard is and what does it do, right? Next is the CPU, Central Processing Unit. This is my guy. I mean, this is the guy who thinks and come up with all of the processes, come up with the most difficult mathematical process or equation, and this guy is going to give it to you in less than 1 second. Yes, it's that exciting, right? So Central Processing Unit or CPU is the brain of your computer. It's the part that makes all of the arithmetic, logical, and input-output operations so that your computer can make all these amazing things. The faster the CPU, the more data it can process in a short period. The speed of a CPU is calculated in hertz. It's written in short Hz. The speed of a CPU is calculated in hertz, written in short Hz. In other words, we count in hertz how much data the CPU can process in a period of time. Next, RAM or random access memory, which is this guy over here. Yeah, it's just a long chip that looks exactly just like this one. It looks amazing. It just has more tinier chips connected to it over there, as you can see. Alright, so what is the RAM anyway? The main memory of a computer is called RAM or random access memory. RAM is used for the information or data that is about to be processed from the CPU. This data is stored for a very short period of time. The amount of memory is very important for the computer's functionality and speed. Even if a computer has a fast CPU, not having enough memory can slow all processes down. What does this mean? It means that if I gave the computer a lot of information and I didn't ask for it to be processed yet, where is it going to be stored? In the memory. But it's a lot of information, right? So if my memory is not really big, it's gonna take a lot of time for this to be sent to the CPU and be processed. Even if my CPU is like really fast, but my memory is like very small, the information will still not be processed very fast. So everything that I need for the computer to process first will be stored in the memory temporarily, as it says over here, for a very short period of time, and then sent to the CPU. Okay, but when once it's done, once the process is done, and you, like, for example, close the application that you were working on, it will get erased from the memory because you don't need it anymore, right? Unless you save it, unless you save your work. In that case, if you saved your work, it would directly go to the hard disk. So we should also memorize this really very nicely. Whenever I ask you what is a RAM, you say random access memory, and it's the memory of the computer, the main memory of the computer. Got it? Next, the hard disk drive, which is this guy over here. Okay, so this guy, as I mentioned earlier, is like it's a memory, but it stores the memory for a very long time, longer than the RAM. Okay, so let's get the definition. Hard disk drive is the main storage device of your computer. That's the difference. Okay, you can use it to store and retrieve information, all the programs, including the operating system, and all the files that you have created by yourself or copied from other devices are stored inside the hard disk drive. The main characteristics of a hard drive or hard disk drive is that it can hold a lot of information. Yes, that is another thing. Its memory is much greater than the RAM. Its storage size is very big. Yeah, say in a computer language, it's very big. Nowadays, a single hard disk drive can hold up to 18 TB. Do we know what a TB is? Oh yeah, maybe I should make a segment where I explain all of the data measuring terms that we use. TB is like one of the biggest measures that we have. You remember the kilobyte, which is KB. We also have the megabyte, and then we have the gigabyte, and even greater than the gigabyte is the TB, which is short for terabyte. Okay, so one hard disk drive, its capacity could go up to 18 terabyte. It can hold 18,000 movies and millions of songs, pictures, and documents. Amazing, right? Alright, so the last part that we're going to study today in this lesson is the video card. Gamers, pay attention. Turns the data, the video card or graphic card or display adapter, turns the data that is processed from the CPU, this guy over here. Okay, this is the video card or the display adapter, and this is the CPU over here. So it turns the data that is processed from the CPU into images on the monitor. So if we've got imaging process, it happens here. It comes from here to the motherboard, and then it goes here, and the processing happens here. The better the video card, the better the quality of your images or games. Okay, it also means that. Don't tell mom and dad. Alright, the better the quality of the images. This is especially evident in computer games. Modern video cards are like small computers, like laptops, maybe tablets, new tablets, and have their own CPU and faster memory in order to offload the main CPU. So it used to happen over here with a very simple video card, but then the games and the movies and every graphic became like it requires lots and lots of processing. Then that's why they made stronger video cards nowadays. Alright, so let's wrap this lesson up. Let's make a quick revision of everything that we've had. So basically I have my awesome image. I love it so much because it helped me explain all of the cool things that happens inside a computer. It's got everything that you can find inside the computer tower or the computer CPU. Alright, so in today's lesson we've studied about the hard disk, the motherboard, the video card, or the display adapter, the CPU, and its annoying fan. It looks really annoying, right? And all of and how it happens, how information transfers from one chip to another, or one device to another, as we are using our computers. And this happens almost in all types of computers. Here is what you should do. This unit is getting to an end. Probably we have 1 or 2 more lessons, and this unit is going to be over. We will have an ICT test about this unit because it's really important, and it's going these information that we studied today, they're gonna go with you all the way, like forever. I'm not gonna say till university or so, but because these information, we use technology every day, you're gonna need to know these information, all of these information by heart. So study them well. Here is one request that I always ask: please watch this video more than one time. So next Thursday, or the next lesson, I need you to watch this video at least 2 times so that you get all of the information memorized. We will continue with parts of computer in the next lesson. Meanwhile, take good care and have a happy learning. Bye.